Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do Bleach Chapter 526 review. Now, this chapter review of Bleach is going to be strictly review and only review, no summary. And the reason why is because right now I have a cold, and if I talk for too long, I'm going to have pain in my throat. So, in order to avoid that pain, I'm going to shorten my review, or at least take away the fucking summary. And that should shorten my review. Should. Alright, if I take a sip of my water right here, it's because my throat is starting to hurt. And when you talk while your throat hurts, it kind of sucks. Alright, now, with that being said, right? This week's chapter of Bleach. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm really not gonna lie to you. The first read-through of this chapter of Bleach, confusing as fuck. I mean, I was like, yo, what is going on? Like what is this? Like, Kenpachi is melting away. Then, like, the next page, he's back, and I'm like, what? And then Unohana's Bankai. I'm like, what's going on? Like, yeah, like it was blood, and then like it wasn't blood because it was boiling, and it was all this. I'm like, yo. Then like they're fighting hack and slash, and like two internal monologues, or like it was very like, it was some strange ass shit. Like, truth be told, in the first read through, like, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And then Kenpachi just all of a sudden, like, bam, right through fucking here, and then, like, it was a game over. And, again, this confused the shit out of me. However, I did come to understand what was going on here via the third and fourth read-through, alright? It took me, like, 4 times to read this shit. And then I was like, and then I was like, on some, on some Eastern man shit. Alright, I'm not gonna say, I'll say Eastern man shit, okay? You know what I mean. That one panel where we see Kenpachi melting away, that was for symbolic reasons. At least I'm pretty damn sure it was. Because in this panel, he talks about how he is awakening from his slumber. And see, if you remember, Unohana was saying how Kenpachi, because she was weaker than him, he had purposely restrained himself. He had put chains on himself. And in this sense, his skin, his flesh and blood, those were the quote-unquote chains that bind his power. And now we see that melting away. And he is returning to the person he was when he fought against Unohana as a child. He is returning to that scale of power. He is shedding away the shackles that binded him for so many years. And now he's returning to that bare bones dude. And that's what that panel was there for, which is why he was saying, I'm awakening from my slumber. And the reason why is because Unohana is giving him true battle. True battle. So, I mean, that's what I see. I mean, I'm probably wrong. Maybe. Actually, no, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm probably right. Yeah, fuck that, alright? I'm a half-full cup kind of dude, so I'm probably fucking right. But if I'm wrong, well, I'm fucking wrong, alright? But what I will say, Unohana's Bankai, what the fuck? Like, I still don't understand what's going on. It's like, Kenpachi wounded Unohana, we understand that. But Unohana countered. And she talked about how the reason why she was, this is the reason why she became so proficient at Kido. So she could, recover wounds very quickly. And then we see that same wound start to, like, sizzle. And then all of a sudden she says Bankai. And then she says Minazuki. I believe it's Minazuki. Yeah, I think so, yeah. And that is the name of her stingray. So, right off the gate, that confused the shit out of me. I'm like, what? So, it's like, is that stingray her Bankai too? Like, I don't fucking know. Like, because I know for a fact that her stingray is called Minazuki. I know that. I know that. And she's calling her Bankai. Like, she said Bankai. Minazuki. So I don't know what's going on. It's very confusing. I mean, that is very confusing by itself. I mean, maybe it's a Japanese, like, linguistics things. I don't fucking... Probably. Because, I mean, because, yeah, probably. Because now I remember it. I remember it because I know it's off-topic, but in one of the late chapters of Naruto, like, the term shinobi also meant endure. So this may be the same thing, where, like, Minazuki means something else, but, like, it's, you know, like it has two meanings. I mean, maybe. I mean, again, that's a stretch, but maybe, all right. I could be dead wrong. In this case, probably, but whatever. All right. So that's number one. Now after that, we see her, and like her sword starts to drip all this, like it appears to be blood. And then she, like, makes, like, a freaking beastly-ass stance. It was like, It was like a fucking flood of blood. It was like, oh. And then she made, like, a blood zone. I was like, yo. Unohana. And I'm thinking, okay, so something's gonna happen. Nothing happens. No, I don't, like, it did nothing. Her Bankai, as far as I'm concerned, did nothing. Because at first, it looked at her Bankai like melted Kenpachi. And then he came back the same way, which made no fucking sense. Unless her healing was that good, which I know makes no fucking sense. Because she's not that good at healing. I know. But now that you realize that Kenpachi being melted away was a symbolic thing in his own mind, in his own dream. Her Bankai and its abilities are completely unknown. And they're going to remain unknown unless she tells us what her Bankai did, or, like, that's probably the only reason why, because right now Kenpachi pretty much killed him. Like, right there, bam, stab, through the back, and, like, that's pretty much it. So, her Bankai, like, you can go and sift through the entire fucking chapter, alright? I'm telling you right now, her Bankais and her powers of the Bankai are unknown. They're unknown. All we know is that it's like a torrent of blood that's kind of bubbling, which is kind of weird. I mean, maybe it was hot blood. I mean, I don't fucking know. I mean, it could be oil. It could be like some weird corrodic thing. I don't know. It could be corrodic blood. But that was assuming that Kenpachi was being melted by the blood, which probably not the case. Which means that we don't know what the fuck her Bankai did. We just don't know. We just don't know. So that was a big what the fuck is going on. And then, after that, after the whole entire, like, awakening from his dream, there's a dual, see, and this also confusing, alright? There was a dual internal monologue. But the transition between Unohana's monologue, no, correction. The transition between Zaraki's inner monologue and then Unohana's inner monologue was very hard to catch. It was very hard to catch because at first it's Kenpachi talking about how he is, he loves battle in a sense, like he loves crossing swords. I believe the word was in fog, or no, he's infatuated with crossing swords. I believe so. That was the exact word I think he used. But then after that, we switch over to Unohana's internal monologue, and it's hard to catch it. Because I think it was her saying, like, do you want to know a secret? And then, but we weren't too sure about that. So the transition between internal monologues, it wasn't done well. It just wasn't, in my opinion. And then after that, we have like a miniature flashback of when Kenpachi's defeated by Unohana when he's a kid. And then she mentions how, like, this, like, he's worthy for how Kenpachi. And that, again, like the flashback, in my opinion, it was like, it wasn't, again, like, it wasn't chucked into the actual fight well. Like, I believe I had the same problem with the chapter that came out 2 weeks ago, of Bleach. Where the flashback, like, they were, in my opinion, like, the flashback, it mitigates the fight in a way. Like, it really does, because the fight itself is hard to follow. Because there's so many internal monologues going on at the same time, the fight is very hard to follow. And the flashbacks make it even harder to follow the fight. So, like, there's a lot of shit going on when, in actuality, it's just basically a hack and slash fight. So, like, it's very weird. And then after that, it basically, the flashback, and then, like, you know, like, they face off, like, one last time. And then she's like, you know, farewell, you're the only man that gave me true joy. And then fucking stab, fucking, and then that's pretty much it. So, like, again, like, it like, the chapter, like, the way I see things personally, alright, is that the fight could have been better. I mean, I know why Kubo is chucking so much shit right now in the middle of this fight. Because a vast majority of Unohana's development is coming from this fight. A vast majority of it. And it's not really that good because it mitigates, in my opinion, it mitigates the actual action between the two. Because the fight, in a nutshell, was actually very hard to follow. It was. I'm not going to fuck with you. Like, the fight was, in general, the fight is hard to follow. Whether it's a dream or not a dream, her Bankai's unknown power is not really doing shit to Kenpachi. The symbolism, the internal monologues, the freaking flashbacks, the fight was clustered with all this stuff to help propel Unohana's character even further before she died. And it mitigated the fight. At least in my opinion. That's why I saw things. I mean, that's why I feel. And I mean, I'll leave it at that pretty much. I mean, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Now, what I will say is that the rate for this chapter overall, I mean, shit. I mean, actually, I don't even know. I mean, yeah, you give it your own rating. Because me personally, like, I'm just, like, the character development-wise for Unohana, it was good, but it mitigated the fight so much where it's like, fuck. And then the symbolism, it's good, but again, it mitigates the fight. And the flashback wasn't that good, and even still that mitigated the fight as well. There's so much mitigation of the fight, it's just like, fuck. So, I mean, take it as you would. In this case, for this week's chapter review, take it as you would. Take it as you would. Me personally, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, all I can say is, you know, I'll go this way, right? Character development-wise, it was good. Fight-wise, subpar. So we'll go okay in a nutshell. Okay, all right. But at the end of the day, take it as you would. If you love the shit out of it, okay, fine, good for you. If you hated it, okay, fine, good for you. That's why I see it. So I mean, I'm pretty much done. Oh yeah, and one last thing before I go. All right. So where are the killing arts? Like, where are the killing arts, man? Where are they? Like, what's going on? Where are these killing arts? Like, oh, the killing arts. Kenpachi will become devastating, and we will teach him the killing arts. But she's like dead. It's like she's pretty much like done. I mean, she got stabbed right through here, man, and then right through the back. She's dead. Like I don't see her living. I mean, well, maybe she will. I mean, I don't know. I mean, because she said farewell. So I mean, right there. So, Kenpachi learning anything new from technique-wise? No. If anything, Kenpachi, he got more brutish. He got more, you know, kind of like Scotsman. I mean, not to sound like, you know, racist or biased, but like that, you know, Scotsman, Highlander, Viking, brutish type of like mentality. You know, like like roll over there, you know, like that's why I see things now, right? Kenpachi's he's stripped away his shackles, and now he's awaken the inner beast, or in this case, the inner beast has returned. But he's not learned any kenjutsu, any, you know, unique sword styles, any fucking bato jutsu, like none of that. It's just basically, you know, swing, hack and slash, instincts, and more power. That's pretty much what we're doing right now, right? Hack and slash, instincts, more power, and I'm done. Key Lightning. Peace. Have a nice day.